tell us about your journey. Where did you come from?
Well, it all started when I was 12.
What was that journey into professional career, already looking professional?
Okay, I was a very talkative kid.
How did your teachers not cane you?
My dad figured out, don't beat him. Put him in a corner behind a bookshelf.
All this space with no words.
And that was the punishment.
How do you go into comedy and then production?
Oh.
What? So that gets you into mentoring.
Yeah, and from that camaraderie is where the idea of, we are like, guys, we have to start something together. We smile at the camera.
Carry on.
I always tell people in stand-up, if you're not scared, you're likely going to screw up. So,
like tiny pumps for the big finish.
that, yeah.
Did not mean that.
In regards to balloons.
Yes. Welcome back to the Film Hackers Talk Show. My name is Maritza, and this is the show that basically connects cinematic artistry to insightful conversation, and you can be part of that right here. We are at Net Studios Africa. This is brought to you by Incredible Media, and I am your host, Maritza. Every time we get here, we talk about either something that is affiliated to film or in the business of film. But what we're doing today is a career profile. So it's not just a something, it is a someone. And the whole conversation is going to be about his career, what he has done in the industry, what he has experienced, what you can pick from that, and also those very interesting stories where we just want to laugh, because that's important too. In the studio with me today, excited to welcome an amazing, celebrated Ugandan comedian, producer, screenwriter. We know him for being the LOL model and one of the most hilarious, clean comedians that are really kicking the game, by the way, in Uganda today and East Africa and Africa at large. Ladies and gentlemen, in the studio, Daniel OMARA!
Woo! For a moment there, I was worried you were not talking about me.
You thought it was someone else.
No, I was also like, who is this amazing person? I can't wait.
Okay, fine. We have OMARA D.
Hey!
That's the guy.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
I'm
so he's
joking.
here.
It's okay.
Hi.
Hi, how are you
You
doing?
look lovely. I'm
you.
well.
You too.
I also look lovely.
You look like Mama Claire.
I look like Mama Claire.
Yeah.
We thank the gods. Because
Natural
at some point I thought I was lying to people.
No, natural face. No makeup except for the dust on the road. You know, that's a true Kampalan you are representing.
Ladies, we have them. We have them.
You have them.
It took me 30 minutes to do this face beat. So there's makeup on this.
I thought you came through Bugolobi.
Then I came through Bugolobi and collected a nice
just did this.
matification and,
like,
you know.
Let's just modify it a bit.
Yeah. You
Distribute.
know what? I did come through Bugolobi and I added, just for consistency of skin tone. Yeah. I'm less brown than what's happening out there. Are we going to bust jokes the whole show? We can.
Mostly. We definitely would. But please, feel free to ask anything.
I'm happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
You're an amazing comedian. I don't know how many people tell you that.
Not enough, honestly.
Not enough.
Yeah.
We should all, like, at least every morning. Good morning, OMARA Daniel. You are a great comedian.
Yeah, and also I'd told dark and handsome.
Oh, the
dark
whole
chocolate, like
best jackets in the
smell like
city.
Peaches and cream. Yeah, that one is true. That all these others we can.
Hey, you passed Bugolobi, by the way.
We all passed Bugolobi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But the peaches and cream is in there somewhere.
Basically, with the Kampala flavor is whatever order you're wearing with a touch of dust.
With a sprinkle.
A touch of dust. Let's not call it dust. Let's umfufu.
With the
umfufu.
a little umfufu.
The new fragrance of Kampala.
You are umfufuling the peaches and cream nicely. I like it. I love it. You are all those things.
Thank you.
Are.
I am
and
honored.
God bless you very much.
Yes, amen.
So tell us about your journey. Where did you come from? I'm joking.
Well, it all started when I was 12.
But no, for real, I like looking back at where you came from, because your journey is one of those that hit the ground running. And even when you tell your story, sometimes you tell your story like there were gaps in there, but I've not felt the gaps, us as your fans, us as your audience, right from Stand Up Uganda. You've been here and you're doing amazing things.
14 years, 15 years now.
It's 15 years.
I feel old when I meet people who tell me, yo, I've been watching you since I was in P7. I'm like,
oh my God, I've reached that demographic as well.
to
Feels
aging
nice
in the industry.
to aging in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people who are like, yeah, I used to sneak my radio into the dome to listen. I'm like, what do you mean the dome? I'm just 12 years old.
Like, bruv, and then I ask, which decker were you sleeping on at that point in your life? If they're like top deck, I'm like, damn it, senior one.
Senior one, bruh. That's a baby.
that was a baby, man. Middle decker, you're doing it. Bottom deck, I'm like, okay, fine.
Does that longevity reflect in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It mostly reflects as experience.
That's good to hear. That's very good to hear.
You find yourself doing things and it's almost autopilot.
Yeah.
Okay, it's weird. Like, you don't even understand it. This is something you used to struggle with before, but now the only reason you're scared is because you're like, it's too easy.
That is amazing.
And that is frightening. If something becomes too easy, it means
Why is that
getting
frightening?
bored.
Doesn't that mean now you have time to, I guess, add onto your skill, broaden the thing that has now become easy peasy?
It means you should, actually.
It means you should.
It means
it
you
is a
should.
must.
Yeah.
It's a declaration.
I always tell people in stand-up, if you're not scared before the show, you're likely going to screw up.
Are you telling me that entire competition you were just crapping yourself?
The entire time, I used to take power naps during the day and not sleep.
Stop.
Like you say, you guys, I need 30 minutes of rest, and then you're just there with eyes wide open. But you're snoring.
Pressure.
Like, the pressure won't let you snooze, man. You're seeing guys
God.
walking around rehearsing their lines like it's, what's that thing, a crusade? Overnight.
Yes.
Just people
Yeah.
slapping them. We
We
had a few psychos on the team.
I mean, you have to. It's an artist community.
Yeah.
If there are no mad people, it's not a madhouse.
So there are those guys who are, when his lines are not sinking in, I'm like, that's my competition. Damn, okay. So what happens if I beat him?
I think you have got the answer in there somewhere. A beating somewhere.
Yeah, if
But
he's
that's
doing that to
crazy.
himself. So it was wild to watch, man.
Yeah.
You're trying to sleep and you hear someone going, or you hear him drop a line and you're like, damn, I have to get up and think of something to counter that.
That's crazy to hear because you were the best, one of the best, I dare say, to come out of stand-up. And for us, we were like, hey, he knows what he's doing. And it kind of showed, like, your transition into entertainment, whether it was media, whether it was acting, you came ready. Did you prepare off screen before we saw you, or you were finessing us? You were cooking us live on the job. What was that journey into like a professional career, already looking professional?
Okay, I was a very talkative kid. Very talkative.
That sounds like a lot of canes.
No, actually, not a lot of canes. My dad figured out, don't beat him.
Yeah.
Don't beat him. Put him in a corner behind a bookshelf.
And tell him to keep quiet.
And tell him to keep quiet.
Oh, that pain. That's painful.
30 minutes, don't say anything, don't do anything. And I'll just start shaking.
You'd start jonesing from not talking.
You just start shaking from not being able to talk. You're like, Dad, can I please come on? And there's a lot of space behind that bookshelf. It's big, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not like they've put you in a corner like this. No, you're quite comfortable. You're just traumatized by the fact that they won't allow you to talk.
All this space with no words.
And that was the punishment. Like,
that's a cruel punishment, though.
yeah, but my brothers were always like, why don't you cane him? My dad is like, we have a different remedy for this guy.
Yo, that is diabolical.
Yeah, man, it's genius. I would
Pretty
beg
genius.
for mercy. I'm like, please no.
But you're talking. 30 more minutes. Like those things of you touched, that cane doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Bruh.
So I just grew up yapping my way through, watched a lot of TV. I basically learned English from TV.
Nice.
And then because in our family, Lao is your first language. As a
bless
rule.
that.
Yeah, English you learn from school and from screen. Lango at home, first language. Straight up.
I wish Ugandans could really pick that up.
Yeah, it does wonders. Because now, by the time you're about 5 years old, you're fluent in at least, semi-fluent in at least 2 languages, right?
2.5 because you
2.5.
live in Kampala.
So you can at least understand Luganda, but
Yeah.
you speak it with your low accent, wasizutia.
Bless
That kind of
you.
vibe. So I grew up with that, TV, all that. I get to Green Hill Academy. I went through Shimoni first.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I apologize, condolences
I feel-
to the kingdom that is now occupied.
Shimoni demolished school.
Demolished.
SDS.
Oh my God, terrible, terrible. You're my mom's OB.
Yeah. Now I
Yeah.
feel older. Like.
From a different time. The school was old,
Thank
it's okay.
goodness. Okay. I'd forgotten it had a TTC
Yeah, the school was very old.
from those days.
BCC.
Before Christ is coming.
Before Christ's coming.
You have to be specific.
Yeah.
So Green Hill, we used to do this assembly thing where you had to go up and like tell a story to the rest of the school,
Nice.
or read news on assembly and all that stuff. And as the weird kid from a government school, so guys kept nudging me to test. So I kept trying and doing things and all that. You know, it was going well. It was entertaining. I would read a book and give my version of the story on assembly, and everyone's like, that's not what, okay, that's what was in the book, but it was not that dramatic. I'm
That's
like,
a gift.
yeah, I was that kid who was just, I had a big mouth, and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour.
Love it.
I could not shut up. Like I was, I always had something to talk about. I always had something to
How
talk
did
about.
your teachers not cane you?
My teachers caned me a lot in Shimoni, but
Yeah.
Green Hill, caning wasn't really their thing. They preoccupied you with too much work for you to be stubborn. So you had to go home with like, what was it? 10 homework questions per day?
For 2 subjects?
No,
For
4.
1?
10 questions per subject daily. Plus
I
you have to
thought my
write.
school was bad.
Oh no, and you have to write news articles,
Yes,
5 of
of
them.
course.
Half a
5?
page each. Yeah, 5 articles. One of them has to be sports. One of them had to be the weather. I don't know how I was supposed to predict that. But anyway. But yeah, it had to be 5 articles. And it kept you busy. So we were always writing, we were always up to something constructive.
You guys actually finished your homework?
Yeah.
Standard homework defaulter. My mom endorsed it, by the way.
Maritza, I did everything to dodge homework.
But
Mrs. Wambuzi, the late, God rest her soul,
Bless
the
her.
legend. Mrs. Gladys Wambuzi was too sharp for a kid my age. Like
That's
we used to
wild.
use fountain pens.
Yeah.
I got to a point where I would use the same news articles like thrice, as long as I could just land a drop of water. So you know, if you put the water, like it erases the date a bit, and then you rewrite
yes,
it.
and you rewrite
I pulled
it.
every trick in the book. I
And they
switched
caught you.
positions of pages. I just kept, no, I would get away with something until a certain point. Like someone else would pick up on it. Because when you're getting away with something, other people start to pick it up also.
And then they spoil your movie.
They spoil my movies.
Yeah.
So now you're about to get caught and you're like, damn it. And if you don't do your homework, you don't attend class. You go to the resource center to finish whatever it is you had to do, then come back and catch up with the rest of the class.
They were too serious.
Green Hill Primary was no joke.
That is crazy. So Kampala Parents was a copy of that, but I didn't realize you guys were in military camp compared to...
But it was lit though. There was swimming, there was MDD, there was music. Green Hill was always fun. There was a lot of work, but there was also a lot of play.
That's good then.
Yeah, like you finished your P7 exams and you were allowed to go back to school and continue with the school program minus the class.
Why would you want to do that?
It was like there are babysitting services for kids in P7 VAC.
So that you don't go out and start smoking, drinking, doing
Yeah,
all
being
the...
chaotic. Come with your video game consoles, bring your Game Boy to school, chill in class. Just don't make noise for the other classes. Go to the field, play as much as you want.
That's
you know,
lovely.
like hang around school. Like it was fun.
But do you even hear like the kind of preparation that you were privileged to have?
Very
They
privileged.
cooked you.
They cooked me into a machine because by the time I left Green Hill Academy,
Yeah.
I end up in Busoga College, Mwiri, writing, like, you know, your articles are always pinned up somewhere.
Yes,
like
yeah.
by Daniel OMARA. And I never thought of it as a big deal. I'm like, yeah, I love English language. I write, so
And
what?
you have a lot to say.
I have a lot to say. I write poems. I don't like my kid sister.
Tell the world.
I'm going to write it down. I'm
Someone
going to put it
needs to
somewhere
hear
there.
this.
Yeah, someone needs to hear this. So it's not because, like, anyway, we're always fighting.
Yeah.
So the beef of...
Sibling love.
Sibling, yeah. It was real, though. Oh, it was real. But I always had something to say.
Yeah.
So when I came back to Green Hill in Senior 2, continued with the routine of assemblies, every week you have to
Yes.
entertain people. So your class has
So
to
you're
come up with
cooking
something
material
interesting.
every week.
Yeah, you're coming up with ideas, skits, what. And I can skip 2 schools, but all I can say is I end up in St. Lawrence. And
That's like the hub of kale byonna bye mwagala mubikole.
you guys, St. Lawrence is like St. Lawrence is like boot camp for entertainers.
Yo.
Do you know they used to send buses to pick us up at 11 p.m.?
In the night?
Yeah,
To go where?
to go dance in the girls' campus. Horizon campus was strictly girls, so they needed to take boys for the dances, right? So
What?
if you had been well behaved, if you had been academically excellent,
Okay.
if you are one of the great entertainers, a dancer, a
Yeah.
singer, a poet, someone
You had
who...
to have purpose.
You had to have purpose. You had to be interesting enough to be on that bus.
I like that.
So you had to earn your right to get on that bus. So I thought the bus was a myth. So
But it was real?
Yeah, first weekend we arrived, senior fives were very few. Me, this guy called Roger, and this other guy called Gibson decided to do a skit.
Oh,
And we just
Jesus.
end up chasing each other around the block and ended up disrupting one of the teacher's speeches. Like, you know when someone finishes a skit and they run off chasing each other?
Yes.
And you think it's done?
Yes.
So the teacher is beginning his speech, bonjour, and then you guys come screaming.
We are
behind him.
still here.
I was just like, what is wrong with these boys? So the principal was so amused. And Muchivi was
He's like premium entertainment.
why are you like this? So when they sent the bus, they came with strict instructions to get us.
Oh my God.
And we thought we had done something wrong because someone just walks up to you at prep times like,
In the middle of the night.
yeah, prep. Okay, the bus used to come at different times. But even
no,
11,
for me, it's 11 p.m. Like, that is Nigos time.
11 was like second shift. These donkeys used to go till morning.
Second shift.
Yeah, there were shifts. Like
So, first shift started at what time?
8, maybe
So
something.
those guys are tired, they need reinforcements coming in.
We need
for
backup.
I hear, tap out, let's
We're
go.
losing.
Take over.
A guy comes in and first flexes.
How much energy do you guys think women have that you have to shift the...
Hey, man. And the competition was fierce, man. So every campus had to send their best.
Oh my God, that is so wild to
It was
me.
wild. So you really had to be some type of person
Yeah.
to actually go and enjoy a horizon dance, or you'd be the guy standing by the side watching other people have fun.
Oh my God, that's also sad.
Yeah, so we were constantly in the entertainment circles because every time they said, like, this class is the one doing this, you're the guys doing the assembly, we're like, oh yeah, we can rely on OMARA for skits. Oh, the other stream has Gibson and Roger. Like, we had our split, and as in the literature stream, so we used to do just the dumbest stuff. You get, like, we get on assembly and say we are doing a commercial for a product called ComfiTab. It was prefect season, so we're going through campaign season for prefectship.
A ComfiTab.
ComfiTab.
Sounds like a morning after pill, but carry on.
First thought, I wish it were.
It was because ComfiTab, the tablet that
ComfiTab.
gives you confidence.
That's exactly what it's for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking with my adult brain, not my teenage brain. Yeah, okay.
No, but that's exactly what it's for.
That tablet that gives you confidence.
Yes, so if you're
That
going...
would actually be a nice little TikTok video right now.
Yeah, and we used to do dumb ads like that. Like, it's
I love
prefect
it.
season, guys are campaigning, but some people are shaky. So you go borrow a lab coat from like one of your chemistry teachers in school and then go and talk. Are you having trouble speaking in front of people? Does your tongue get in the way of your words?
Oh.
Are you suffering with your campaign strategy?
How did no one even come up with this tab?
ConfiTab grants instant confidence. Observe. Now, before we had a guy
Here,
fail
observe.
to speak.
You actually do a test?
Yeah, we have a skit running behind us. Like,
Lava.
so a guy comes and tries out his campaign and he's just, he can't talk. So he comes, the next guy is scared and I'm like, yo, you want some of this? Guy tries it, he chews it. Then you see his demeanor change. He's just like, what's your name? Philip Kinyanjui the third. Guy starts naming his
on.
ancestors from Gikuyu. I'm
Let's
like, oh
go.
yeah, let's go. Guy, like, are you ready? Guy attacked, man. Guy went and dropped a freestyle.
I see ComfiTab. By the way, why are you cooking your friends? Because the ones who are shaking are going to be like, I want to be like that guy.
Yes, exactly. We're selling a product.
That's nice.
And then just when everybody thought the skit was done, because this guy he drops a freestyle and he's like, any more questions? Guys are like, hey, we good, man. You're as good as one.
Yeah.
And it's like, but don't confuse it with ComfiTab, which induces instant confusion.
Why would you make an antidote for ComfiTab?
I don't know. Maybe you need to get someone off the high.
And just bring them down.
Yeah, calm down. As in, you're too confident. Let's confuse you a
Guys,
little.
That is crazy for high school.
It
That
was-
is so wild.
And the Kenyans I was on the squad with were just awesome.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
because St. Lawrence was a port also.
we were, what, 9 Ugandans in my stream? Literature
What?
class, 61 students, I think. 61 or 63.
Wait, was St. Lawrence one of those where you had like 100 in one class? Like say Form 6 is 100 people, 300 people?
We were never that many. At least not in Paris. At least not in Paris.
150?
London College, though, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. But that school is so large. Like, what are they doing? Anyway,
it is wild.
Let's come back.
So-
But yeah, so was it like a large class?
61 to 63.
Okay, that's decent. That's
in my
really
stream, in the literature stream. Then the other one was the other stream for arts. Then the third stream was for sciences.
Oh
and it
yeah,
had
no,
like
that is
25
a large
people.
class.
Yeah. So we used to do the skits and then would switch the lyrics of songs. Like when we were mad at administrators, like the time we did Ghetto Story, Baby Sham and Alicia Keys.
Yes, what did you switch it to?
We did a version where we were just talking about how we've hustled through St. Lo. It was like our last assembly in senior six.
I remember those days when
I remember
there was
those
no
days
Fuji.
when St. Lo was my home, and
Come
how
on.
I used to hustle with the Wado in Dome. How we used to get punished for no good reason. Now
Hey.
the punishment would start and then go on and on.
Put it in
Like the
further.
whole thing was just crazy.
That's
And
wild.
then you say, me say, mommy, me got me past sleep. And I rocked you. Me scored 24, I only missed one. Yo.
What
Me
did I-
wanna go to varsity and do the mass
Let's
com.
go.
Ra, 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 ra. Those assemblies
Yo.
were lit. And it's with a guy on like a local drum too.
Yes. Like Galabi beats.
Galabi beats.
Buganda 808.
Vibes just.
Yo.
So St. Lo assemblies was just practice. Then I became information prefect, which made you
Nice.
default MC for every official function of your campus.
Because of course.
So by default. And then here's the craziest thing. Please ask Mackenzie about this.
I will.
There was a ranking system for MCs in St. Lawrence. And the higher you were on the rank, the higher the rank of event you got to officiate.
Stop.
So like if the president came through, those are the ones that would get Mackenzie
This
for.
is in school.
This is in school.
Get out of here.
This is in school, and you know your rank based
So
on
Mackenzie was the leader.
There was Mackenzie, there was Desh, there's a chick called Abia, something like that. Me has those ends of like number 6, you get.
Number 6 out of how many? Like what was?
Okay, St. Lo, every campus had its rank of MCs, man.
Like 20 people, 10?
A lot.
A
Let's just
lot.
say there were a lot.
You
I
can't
don't
even
remember
put
the
it
exact
20.
number.
Yo, number 6 is good though.
Yeah, so there was constant, just events were constant,
Yeah.
assemblies you had to MC,
Yeah.
events were always happening. You'd be in another campus and someone's like, yo, I need backup, you guys. Can
Let's
someone
go.
help me up on the mic, just officiate the running? I need to first rest a bit and think you grab the mic and say something. Like it was just, that was the process.
I love that so much because by the time you're out here on these streets, you have actually lived a full career of an entertainer for your demographic
Before I joined the industry.
before you even joined the industry. No, but you were in the entertainment in school. That is the industry. That is actually right now. That is a very big industry. Like you are a high school entertainer. That is serious business.
Good times.
People are popular. Inter-school fame, like it's serious business. So it's great. And then that gave you sassy for the real world.
What's going on now?
For what's going on now. That is crazy. I really like hearing about that because I don't have very much faith in how school cultures us for the real world. But I think that's because maybe I have experienced people who haven't had the privilege of experiencing what you have experienced.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the majority of a lot of people in the workspace.
True.
So it's like either they're learning on the job or actually they know nothing. Like you're just in a space where you went to school, but you know nothing about the industry that you're in. So I appreciate that journey. I really do. So, Mr. OMARA Daniel.
Yes.
How do you go into comedy and then production? Because it's one thing to be the star of the show, which is great, I guess. You know, you get your flowers. Do people give you money on stage? I don't know if that still happens.
No, they
No?
do.
They do?
They do, but people don't actually like, hey, Omara, because they know I'm not going to come for it.
Or they come to you and put it in your pockets?
Or after the show, someone's going to meet you and be like, hey, look, here's a dime, man, today's performance.
Wait,
was
why
great."
aren't you going to take it? Like on
I'm in the
stage?
middle of my performance and someone raises money like, yo, come get this. I'm like, first,
Let me finish.
let me finish. Like, this is, let me do my thing.
Let me note that down.
Yeah, I also
Finish
hate looking
your
like a beggar.
performance.
I think it's an issue of pride as well.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I have no shame.
If you're
So-
giving, give, please. I understand, I
Yeah.
appreciate. But if I have to weave through people to get to
collect,
you to collect it in
that's
the
a
middle
lot
of a
of work.
performance, it's kind of, you know, I just
I've
look at
hacked
it
it.
differently.
Whatever event you go for, call me. The money in the audience, I'll pick it for you.
No problem.
You perform, I'll come and collect. I want to do that. I want to do that for you. That's my contribution to your career.
It is okay, send you,
It's
send you.
okay?
We smile at the
Yes.
camera as we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A deal.
You did, yeah. Proper one.
His money. Sorry, we shall get to it when we cross that bridge. But yeah,
Our
so
money.
like from, being the star of the show to production and actually even mentoring and creating your own stars, why was that important to you and how did that transition happen?
Okay, so the mentorship thing was a result of the course I ended up pursuing in university, which was education.
Oh yes, you did do education. Good for
Yes,
you.
I did not want to be a teacher. From the time as a kid, I had made it clear to my parents.
That you don't want to be a teacher?
Yes, but the points I had passed with in St. Law couldn't let me get mass comm or IT, the two things I wanted. And then my dad's like, just put a Duke at the bottom. It won't hurt. Because I'm like third generation teacher.
Nice.
And then my dad's generation just had a line of them. My dad, my mom's sister, my dad's cousin, my uncle. Like, you just keep hearing Aponya. Aponya means teacher.
Teacher, yeah.
It's like a respectable title in our thing. Like, we had two teachers married in our family. So we had to be Aponya Duong and Aponya Tiri, like the older teacher and the younger teacher. Like,
I want that for myself. Actually, I really do, because I think I'm third generation if I do become a teacher. I'm third generation as well. My grandparents are actually in a documentary about Uganda, and they feature as these two teachers getting married.
Nice.
So they have a video of their wedding from the 60s, as you know, this is what teachers in Uganda do when they get married. So that's beautiful. That's a beautiful legacy for you. You're like, no.
Okay, look, it's a very admirable profession, as I came to learn, right?
Yeah.
But in our generation, it's not getting the respect it had with our parents' generation, for example. You get, so it's different. And it's for that reason that I didn't want it, because I'm like, guys, teachers are not getting paid. We're trying to get paid. I'm trying to take care of people here.
Trying to make money.
I'm trying to make money.
Yeah.
But as I started doing education, I was learning so much. I'm like, wait, they're teaching psychology? They're teaching management? Oh, philosophy? Wait, what? Oh, okay. Like, you're getting so many lessons. Then you have the history of literature, literary theory. Like, it's just so much knowledge. And you at the time had some of the dopest lecturers.
Yeah.
Mr. Musingo, wherever you are, just remember I mentioned your name. One love. Like, the Duke department was just some of the best lecturers.
Yeah.
There's Miss Mary Kushemererwa, my languages teacher, who I met a month after I joined university, because I had the wrong timetable. I had the one for a Duke. I didn't have the one for languages.
Is it the same, it's the same course?
Well, if you're studying a Duke and you plan on teaching literature or English, you have to go
language.
Yeah, you have to study the language and all that.
Okay.
So Edu gave me the discipline and the desire to actually want to teach. I started to love the course, and I'm like, well, God, if this is what you've thrown at me, so be it.
Bless you.
I'm going to do my best. I attended my lectures. I went all in. I'm like, okay, I guess this is where I am. The worst I can do is fail, really. So let me go. I kill it. Along comes Stand Up Uganda. At a time when I've accepted my fate, and everyone's like, you should go for this thing.
Wait, were you still on campus?
Yeah, still on campus. Second year.
Second year, fresh.
Second year as on holiday. And I'm supposed to be doing teaching practice, so that was the conflict between me and my dad. You're supposed to be doing teaching practice.
You're there like, being a clown.
You want to go and participate in a comedy competition. And he took his stand, and me, OMARA, being defiant.
You took your stand.
I took my stand.
And you stood up comedy.
Yeah.
Actually, you stood up your dad, sorry.
No, my mom came through and she's like, okay, hold up. You two are too stubborn. Like, this thing is not going to go anywhere.
God bless
if someone
her.
doesn't intervene. So she's like, look, what is the schedule for school? What's the schedule for Stand Up Uganda? So you have a week. Can you take a week off teaching practice, go for the competition, then make up for the 2 weeks after that? So I discuss it with my supervisors. They're like, it's okay. I discuss it with the school. They're cool. I'm like, let's do this.
Your mom.
Yeah, mom came through, man. It was beautiful. Like,
that is so beautiful.
Compromise.
That is so nice. Now, some of us with one parent, when they say no, it's no. No, but like that's actually really nice.
I didn't mean to laugh that hard. I'm sorry. I was.
No, the reality is that's the reality. But no, the support in like a lot of artists' lives, like in the whole spectrum of entertainment, whichever kind of artist you are, whatever your contribution is, usually the perception from your family. It doesn't come with support. Like, it comes with a lot of questions, a lot of doubts, especially if you've established a path that looks like there's a future.
Exactly.
So the wisdom of someone to be like, men, first relax. Let us talk about this.
Her actual words.
I want that for a lot of people. That's nice.
No, it's a beautiful thing. Her actual words were, I know you two. You're one soul in two different bodies. My dad and I are identical. Like, I've looked at his younger photos. The only difference is he had a beard. Where did I go wrong, Dad? What did I do to not deserve the beard? You think I don't want facial hair? Do you know how I can't make it on Tinder?
Maybe he had a secret that he has not revealed.
It all went to my eldest brother, man. This
Oh,
guy
he's
looks like Moses. He has to shave often. I'm like, can you cast your burdens unto me?
I'm not sure those are burdens you want.
But no. Actually, shaving is too much work. Whichever part of the body it is. But yeah, so managed to compromise, and I realized my dad wasn't the villain. He was looking out for his son, like, because you have to be practical.
They never really are, you know.
Yeah, you have to be practical. I mean, yes, you want to do this comedy thing. You need something that actually pays. I can say maybe outdated, but no ill will intended. You get. So for him,
he's working with what he knows.
he was working with what he knows, and education is still a prestigious occupation in his mind. Now, it wasn't me undermining a duke, but I had also seen an avenue because I wanted nice things also in life. And I saw an opportunity, and I was like, let me go do this audition. Borrowed 1.5 from my mom. And went for the audition.
Hey, transport.
Transport.
You know, when you said 1.5, in my mind, I'm like, $1,500. That's a good investment.
I took a taxi.
Nice.
I think I took a taxi there. I used some of the money to eat something, and then I walked back.
Nice.
After the first audition.
I mean, you were young, so it's nice.
Yeah. So when I came back and said, hey, I'm like in the top 40 something, she's like, oh, okay, that's nice. So what's the next step? Like, you could really see her.
She was invested.
She was invested. So by the time I had that incident with my dad, she understood what this thing meant to me, but she also understood what
he was saying.
What my dad was saying. So she was like, there is a middle ground that can be reached here.
I think this nation needs to find that middle ground as well, because we take so much time in not investing in the arts as a country.
Tell him, soldier boy, tell him.
So I really love that middle ground, because there's so many artists stuck in the wrong places and then being listed among the 14 million Ugandans who are suffering depression and mental illnesses. And it's really just about a form of expression. So that gets you into mentoring. Yes,
it gets me into mentoring because I have, from what we learned in Stand Up Uganda, so we went through like a 2-week course.
Is this, what level of finalists?
Oh, this is now top 20.
Top 20.
Like the finalists.
The guys.
Mosa Court Apartments. We have our 2 guys, Al Rogers and Joe Parker. Awesome guys. Guys have like 30 years experience in stand-up comedy from Johannesburg. And internationally traveled, Canadian festival, all those crazy things.
I received that blessing for you.
Yeah, and this guy made it clear, we're not training you to be good comedians. We're training you to be good people and decent entertainers. So if you show up at, class starts at 10, if you show up at 10, you're late. Anything earlier than that, you're on time. Basically, they're training you in timekeeping. Don't be late for your gigs.
Do you know professionals?
Professionals.
I love that.
That's why I keep saying, class of 09, we're not going anywhere. People diss all they want. They're like, you guys are not funny anymore. I know, but we have a code of ethics and knowledge. People say that. I understand. It's the only way they feel they can win an argument against a comedian. Even you're not funny.
Even you are not funny.
Oh, my feelings.
They don't know they're giving themselves away for being slow.
Where did I put my Fs? I have none to give.
You're here. There is A, B, C, D. All of them are here. F gone.
No Fs, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Bambi, I have none. But yeah, so the training was intense. And, you know, we had weird exercises that we didn't get at the time. First of all, Salvador and I never liked each other in that competition at the beginning.
Any particular reason or just airs? Because sometimes you cannot like each other because of it's in the vibe.
So am I the only one who thinks Salvador looks a bit like Debo from Friday? People always say Shrek, but look at Debo.
He looks like Shrek. He doesn't look like Shrek.
I don't think he looks like Shrek.
He does look like Debo.
He looks a bit like Debo, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So you were beefing with Debo.
He looked like a bully to me. That's why I was looking at Salvador, this guy with the deep voice, and Salvador takes up space. That's like his gift, right?
But like even not just in presence, but his voice, and character.
His presence, his character. Like I'm like, this guy is trying to take over the classroom. Who do you think you are? So I'm seeing a bully, and for him, when he looks at me, I came to realize later, I was like, I was seeing a know-it-all. This loudmouth yappy.
You know, do you eventually see the irony of that situation?
Yeah.
Because the gift that got you there is what you used against each other.
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
It's basically
humanity.
We knew We knew each other's strengths from the get-go.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, this competition is going to be stiff.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? They pair us up one day. Because we could tell we didn't like each other, but you just don't say it, right? You even meet, you shake hands, you what, but deep down you're like, I know who my competition is.
Yeah.
Because I won't lie to you, Stand Up Uganda was 19 people versus Pablo.
That is true.
People say the top 20, I was like, no, it's
It was
top 19 and
people
Pablo.
Pablo, that
Pablo
is
has
so true.
every advantage.
Pablo
and I don't mean
won
it.
that competition before it started.
He won it before it started.
It was beautiful.
But he also put up a very solid fight.
Yeah.
To be fair, we can't discredit the performance.
I'm glad I'm hearing that from the comedians.
No, for real, the man put up a spirited fight. That top 8 was a problem.
Show.
Oh.
I actually don't remember much of the top 8. I remember you and Pablo, because anyway, it goes without saying.
No, that stuff was crazy. So they give us an exercise where they're training us how to be expressive in our delivery. But we didn't know the purpose. The guy said, I want you to speak to each other in gibberish.
That is you and your nemesis.
Me and my nemesis. Don't use any known words. I just want you to make a bunch of noises and sounds and hand gestures and facial expressions.
That known words, that excludes also local languages.
Local language, anything. So there we are just going. And then Salvador like, and we had a whole conversation for like a minute, right? And
did you cuss each other out in
we're
those?
smiling and laughing the entire time. And when this guy comes and asks us, what do you think his story was about? I'm like, clearly someone broke his heart. Like, man, you could tell.
That is beautiful.
And we just had that vibe. And from that day on, we became friends.
That is so beautiful. Oh my God, can I use this?
What?
Because like when people meet me sometimes, I've experienced this a lot with females, and particular character of male. When people meet me, they don't like me on the jump. But it's usually because like with you and your nemesis, you misjudge each other.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't judge people. So me, I can feel the energy. So they've misjudged me.
Yeah.
So I think I want to use that. I want to have a gibberish conversation with someone who has judged me. And here, because it's so freeing.
It would be hilarious.
You're being a clown, which is, you have to be vulnerable to be a clown. You have to release yourself in order to be stupid in front of somebody you can't stand.
Exactly.
So they fixed you guys in tricks.
They fixed us in tricks, and it was because the common denominator in all this was Alex, right?
Yes.
Alex was like the middle guy.
Yeah.
Alex always loved to ask questions. He's always asking questions. He was very inquisitive dude,
Yeah.
right? And all that. So he got along with Salvador. He got along with me, but you know, Salvador and I kind of didn't connect. From that day on, we just formed a team. We're like, you know what, guys, we're rolling together.
Big three, let's go.
Yeah, and from that camaraderie is where the idea of Crackers began. We're like, guys, win or lose, at whatever point we leave this competition, we have to start something together.
That's nice.
So that's how Crackers became a thing. Mic Check, the TV show.
I remember
and all that. And then, man, things were moving fast.
You did many beautiful things in that season, post Stand Up Uganda.
Yeah, post Stand Up Uganda, we started a show. And when I look back on it now, I'm like, we didn't even realize how accidental the structure was.
What do you mean accidental?
Accidental in the sense that everybody just took on something they were good at, besides comedy.
Yeah.
So in my era of comedy, let me sound like an old guy.
In my time.
In my time, back
A
in
few
the day,
decades back.
you see, when Muhammad Ali, 40,
You know you're joking, but considering the technological changes and how the industry has grown, it is in your time for real.
the fact that there's no more Facebook Zero.
There was Facebook Zero even.
Facebook Zero.
You guy. It really was in your time,
In
but
my
carry
time,
on.
And the Tuakowa page. So
There was, oh my God,
Tuakowa.
seasons.
So Salvador is a telecom engineer, right?
Yes.
Brilliant chap.
Yeah.
Genius. Please do not undermine that man's intelligence.
Yeah, he's very intelligent.
Yeah, people look at him and they're like, yeah. I'm like,
You have to be very smart to be stupid. People need to know that.
yeah. Very, very smart to look stupid and be okay with it.
And do it well.
And do it very well.
And get people to give you money for it.
So we start, and Salvador is a telecom engineer, but he's also an amazing networker.
Yeah.
Like, he just knows how to get people involved in plot. Like I said, he has this aura. He takes up space, and he knows how to. He can come and command a room of ants.
Yeah.
And just tell them this way to the like for no reason. You find yourselves following a guy, right?
Yes.
So he was always bringing people for the show. random people, like people he met. He was working at MTN, so he was always working around the clock to get guys to come for the show.
I need me a Salvador.
Yeah. Now Alex is the exact opposite. He's an organizer. He knows he knew how to put things together because he was with Fenon at the time.
Interesting.
So events organization. Alex is the guy who came and said, okay, we need a colored backdrop. The black just won't work anymore. We need a padded stage. We need better lighting. Like, he's talking about things and we just look at him like, yeah, okay.
Whatever
cool.
you say, sir.
Whatever you say, sir. And the guy's like, no more open shoes, no more shorts, no more sleeveless shirts on stage. We want them to laugh at what we say, not at how we look.
Because, yeah, we were laughing sometimes.
Yes, and it was deliberate. We were changing the rules of the game because the industry we found was very different from what we had planned to execute. So my skill was in mentorship and education. So I took on recruitment.
Yeah.
You guys want to join comedy? I could identify talent weirdly. I'm just like, I think that with a bit of pressure, we can.
Your name has come up in a few interviews with other comedians.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Very good times. That's nice.
And it was fun, man.
Yeah.
Okay, it had to be done. Let me put it that way. It had to be done because
there was a need.
There was a need for talent in the industry. Sebachije was a comedian and an accountant. He was in the top 4 of stand-up Uganda with us. So he took on finance. So now everyone has their department and they don't question your department.
What? That's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and that's how the industry was running. So whoever was added to the group came with an added function. Napoleon comes in. He's also a very good orator, speaker, and talker, so he took over PR. Dolibondo comes in, he takes over printing because he was working at NASA Road. Like, everybody came with something. Cotilda, the techie. Like, you just keep, you had to have more than one purpose to belong in the group.
Yeah.
So there were a few firings, and I'm sorry, I apologize to the people I fired.
It is what it is.
It wasn't an easy job thing to do, but we got to a point where you had to pay people on merit.
Yeah.
Not the thing of, we're a group, everybody gets paid.
But you know, that's actually what I'm thinking about now. Like, the firings make sense because from the way you're talking about the organization, it's that this was a business.
It was a business.
And business work had to be done. Yeah. Regardless of, hey, we are very funny, whatnot. So I empathize, but I get it, you know?
It was a tough decision. It had to be made. I remember I had a breakdown in front of my mom at some point. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm confused. I'm very, like,
because you're breaking people's hearts?
I'm breaking people's hearts. And where do I get the authority to do that? You understand? So it was confusing for me as well. But
how many people have you
if you choose to be someone's microwave, you have to wake up and heat the food.
Listen, and you have to be in that fire with the food.
Yes.
But that's a good experience. That's a good growth curve,
I think it was about 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to lose some weight painfully. Sorry. I hope you guys forgave me like 14 years later.
Think you're wonderful people.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a well-oiled machine. Later. Meanwhile, we are giving wine for people to watch the show. Come to the entrance of Effendi's, pay 5K
give you free wine.
For a glass of wine, and the comedy is kind of like free.
Yeah, because that's free.
And some nights you'd make a little money. So Salvador and I had made like $2,000 each from the competition.
Nice.
So we would give away whatever we had to other guys because we were like, well, okay, I can survive on what I have. Salvador had a job. And props to Salvador and Alex. They literally treated me like their younger brother.
Yeah.
The age difference is not that big, but I can't say it because I'll be revealing a lot.
They held your hand.
No, those guys wouldn't let me buy a drink in the club. Like,
when do they hang out?
For like the first year of our lives together, they would not let me buy a drink in the club. They're like, for us, we have jobs. You're a campuser. Sit down. And I'm like, my goodness, fine, okay.
That's a blessing.
I wasn't complaining.
That's a blessing. But you know, those are some of like the things that artists or up-and-coming artists struggle with today. Being in those spaces in order to meet the people that you admire, the people you want to work with. Yeah. It costs money, especially today. Today, that budget you had in 2010 will not even get you to your location.
You can't do anything. You are stuck.
You're stuck. So the freedom to actually be able to have people that can facilitate your networking, that can facilitate your up-and-comingness of being at shows you can't even afford to pay entrance for, that is a gift.
Yeah, and it's Salvador was a weird guy to party with.
Why?
You're having the time of your life. You guys are like, yo, let me come. Then you see him on that exact same energy he was with you, with some other random crew of people. You're
So
like, okay.
so he's operating like 4.
He's networking 4 clicks simultaneously.
I like that.
By the end of the night, it's like, so yeah, so and so said is coming. Who's that? Oh, brand manager, this company. Also, this guy said this guy got the business card. And I'm like, wait, all that happened in the, like, 20 seconds you went and danced with those guys.
You know, if you hadn't shared like how you guys had to do gibberish to become friends, I would actually ask, is that something that you can identify in people that this is an asset to what I'm trying to build in my career? I would need this asset near me. Is that something that you're able to identify? Even now that you're able to identify it, how do you pick those people that are going to fill in your gaps?
So the selection process, first of all, when I was younger, I based a lot on people's motivations.
Could you see them?
Well, you can see talent. You can identify talent. You can see the way, like, someone having a normal conversation, just talking casually. But they're, like, I can guarantee you, if I met Gaetano anywhere,
yes,
and he was just Gaetano, not the Gaetano of Big Brother, not the radio presenter,
just
but I just heard him talking to people. That energy alone would tell me, this guy needs to be on radio.
Yeah.
Or something. Or at the very least, let this guy narrate movies. Like you get. Like imagine a movie narrated by Gaetano. Have you seen the energy Gaetano has?
I had not taken my thought process there, but it's going.
I don't care what the story is about. Gaetano is invested.
Yes.
And then what? And
he has...
No. Like Gaetano is in your plot. He's in your...
He's right there. He has perfect cadence with story reaction and story flow. Like that's one of the things I enjoy talking to him. I enjoy when I talk to him.
And he's animated. And those are the things you see in people. You're like, okay, you would be a very good storyteller.
Entertainer.
Yeah,
it's a storyteller.
You're a good storyteller. Now we just need to add the stand-up element to your stories. Because a normal story, you could put the punchline at the end and no one would mind.
I mean, that's all how we talk, because you want the big laugh.
You want the big laugh.
Yeah.
In stand-up, you can't just tell a 5-minute long story without having a few laughs squeezed in between. So like character moments, character names, there have to be a few things here and there that you just keep sprinkling in to get those small laughs, all of which are setting up and building up to the final laugh.
It's like tiny pumps for the big finish.
For the big finish,
Did not mean that.
In regards to balloons.
Yes.
Yes, that one. So you identify you can tell a storyteller, you can identify a social critic.
Yes.
Like you can see an improv comedian.
Yes.
There's a guy called Kenneth Mulalu Tusubira.
Is the Mulalu baptized or he came with it?
Mulalu was the nickname we gave him because this man was insane. You heard of the comedian who used to play guitar?
What?
He looked like Jamal Waswa, Chameleon, Bebe Cool and Bobby Wine.
At the same time?
All at the same time. And Aziz Azion. Like, because that was the time when all those artists had dreadlocks, right?
Yes.
So he would just reposition his dreads depending on the artist he's imitating and then change facial expression. So, of course, with Bobby, he would just go with the lazy look, the high Bobby of back in the day. Yeah. This guy got on stage with a guitar. And just out of the blue, from a conversation he had had with a friend, casually.
Yeah.
Tells the audience, have you guys realize Chameleon has made one song which is 1 hour long? This is 2010. Chameleon has made one song which is 1 hour long, and he just keeps chopping for us 3 minutes.
Wait, I watched this clip. I feel like I saw this.
It's old.
This joke.
It's like 13 years old, right?
But I know this joke. Did I watch it live or I can't now recall?
And then at Theater La Bonita, and this guy starts playing his guitar. First puts on the Chameleon persona. Makes random noises.
And he played the same tune start to finish.
That's the tune.
Yeah.
Ting, tiling, tiling, ting, tiling, tiling, ting, tiling, tiling. And he tells the audience, give me the song. Tiling, tiling, tiling. So now you're the audience, you give the song.
Back then, what was there?
Pre-2010.
Pre-2010. Mama Roda.
Mama Roda was back at that time.
Yeah, it was pre-2010.
Or Mama Roda was Chameleon?
Yes.
Okay. Going. Mama Roda. Befula. Oh, Befula. Jamila Analia.
Hey, I remember this joke. That was a really good joke.
Kenneth took us by storm. This thing wasn't rehearsed. We hadn't practiced backstage with anyone. This guy was a pure improv comedian, but
crazy.
We used to give him material as a fallback plan. You get of
Just in case you get nervous and the lines in your head get crossed.
like when maybe you lose the audience at some point, you
Yeah.
have a fallback finisher joke.
Oh my
But
God.
you would rehearse 20 minutes with this guy and he would go on stage and not use any of it. But he's killing the audience. He once answered a phone call on stage and made it part of his set and just kept talking, complaining to this person about, don't you know I'm on stage? You're the type of people whom you see someone on TV and you call to see whether they'll pick up. What is wrong with you? And this guy, he's ranting this entire, and we can also hear the guy on the other end like, Chichigwe now. It was the most...
That is action-y, eh?
Guys were
live
wild.
action.
Live action.
Yo.
So, the squad back then, hey
That's
man.
crazy. When you say the squad back then, okay, because I had asked you like how you pick whatever. When you say the squad back then, let me just bring you here. And the squad today, is it less passion? Because that conversation keeps coming up in different genres of entertainment, like different aspects of entertainment. You'll hear it in music, you'll hear it in, film is the one, I guess, that's getting a new wave of passion. But would you say it's a lack of passion, a lack of experience? Like, are people not putting in as much as they used to?
No, I'm sure the passion is definitely there. There's a lot. I know a lot of passionate young comedians who are on the scene. Number one, I think the education is lacking. Because there's a difference between comedians who have gone through mentorship and comedians who have been offered a platform to perform on. You get? I'll give you an example of a young comedian who has gone through mentorship and look at the results in his life. Dr. Hilary Okello.
Yes.
He's from the 2017 generation of the comic.
Really?
Yeah.
You mentored him?
I was just one of the teachers there, but it was Salvador's production, right?
That's
so
nice.
I think as I was training them on content creation and what was it? Something about to do with writing and stuff like that.
I can see that because he's a very well-rounded comedian.
Yeah, and self-managed. The guy
Excuse me?
He's putting himself out there solo.
He's self-managed?
Yeah, at least as far as I
It
know.
doesn't look like he's self-managed.
Maybe someone has taken over. But
Which
as of
doctors
now.
is he talking to? Because he's going to have to give us a number or something.
Which doctors? Which doctors?
Hey.
Yeah, those ones.
Dr. Hilary.
Dr. Hilary. Like,
Okay.
you see the difference and the significance. Hilary, Okello, Akite Agnes.
I love Okello.
Akita is from Cotilda's ilk of, what was it, Queens of Comedy.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that, yes.
So it makes a big difference if someone actually goes through the process of, gaining the knowledge and learning and thinking. I deny people stage for like 2 months.
Yes, I've heard about you on these
And
streets.
it's very frustrating. I want you to write every week for 2 months, so that by the time you appear on stage for the first time,
Yeah.
you have built up 2 months of material, at least. And I want you only to perform 5 minutes for your first set. Now we have guys going viral for 5 minutes.
Wait.
And then not knowing what to do after that.
What do you mean perform for 5 minutes on your first set? I have been sitting, writing, cooking,
Yes.
Kanzari, doing what I do.
Introduce yourself to the audience in the shortest time possible. Leave an impact. Make them want more. So that they invite
Okay,
you back.
make them want more. Okay,
Yeah,
I
don't
see
use
that
all your
perspective.
material at a go. 'Cause
But I'm burning. I've come with fire.
listen, 2 months of writing, chances are you've tested less than half of that material successfully. Because it's not like everything you write is going to be gold.
Tested in terms of trying it out on small audiences,
Small
your
audiences,
people.
tested it on your peers, on the people you rehearse with and all that. You've rewritten it like thrice. So perfect material, the perfect set should always be the one that introduces you. Like, who are you? When you come and introduce yourself, I'm so and so, my age is this, thingy. I recently just turned 31 inches. And you just keep going, right? You give them an intro, type of family, what you come from, people call me this, blah, blah, blah. Make fun of yourself a bit, 5 minutes, boom.
Done.
Meanwhile, people joke about the 5 minutes.
What do you mean?
Do you know how long our audition was? 1 minute.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
1 minute to be funny.
Stand Up Uganda audition was 1 minute. This is Mina's experience.
Can you do it now?
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
Because that was the training. And
1 minute seems like a very short time.
1 minute.
Okay, maybe I don't have stand-up comedy brain, but I feel like to convince you to laugh at me or with me, I surely need more time.
I understand, and that's the trap. If you can't be funny in 1 minute, why would I give you 5? Because I need you to be consistent. It's not like you're going to be funny 1 minute and then not funny the next. No, I need you. Every minute has to
Every
come with its supply
minute.
of punchlines. So if I can't trust you to be funny in 1 minute, there's no point giving you 5 or 10. So yes, my methods were strict, but the results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
They were savage.
Yeah.
You deny a person on stage, he hates you for it. But I've seen people quit comedy because of their first stage experience. I can do this, I can do you put me and you see.
Without the training.
Without the training. And that's why I keep telling people I have a problem with TikTokers being put on stand-up comedy stages. Because that was issue number 2 I was going to raise.
We were going to get into that because now comedy has allowed a broader expression.
I understand.
Yes.
And it's a good thing. But
It's a great thing.
If I wanted to be successful on TikTok, who would I talk to? A TikToker, right? I would ask for their advice. I would consult them.
Okay.
What is so hard about TikTokers talking to the comedians about how to be a better stage performer? We don't have take 2. This is what I keep telling TikTokers. There's no take 2.
Yeah.
Stand up, you fumble a joke, you can't tell them, sorry, let me start it again.
Sorry, that was joke number 3. Let's go back to joke number 1.
And you can't add those laughs, you know, the sound effects, none of that. Not even the DJ can save you.
Yeah.
That
like fireman them.
It only comes when people are laughing. So, so often the reception when they get on stage is wild because they're viral, they're popular.
Yeah, they're popular.
And then you see the energy just start to dwindle in the audience as they begin to realize this person is not a stage performer. You need to learn stand-up as an art, separate.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, comedy, we fear each other. Do you know how much I fear Fun Factory?
Why?
Sketch comedy.
Why?
Being able to literally read another person's mind while you're on stage, figure
That
out
is
where they are
powerful.
going, and
But
either go with them or bring them back.
Yeah, go with them or bring them.
Like,
sometimes you have to U-turn.
You have to reel a guy. They're like, the punchline is this way. Come back here. Hey.
I feel like they have the advantage of longevity, and I think being able to work like that for a long period of time. So I feel like what you fear with Fun Factory is experience. Were they like that at the start? Because I don't think I got to experience them at the start. I've only experienced seasoned Fun Factory. And of course, seasoned Fun Factory is mind-blowing.
To be fair, these are guys who've been together since like Namasagali.
Exactly.
They've been in the Ebonies. They've been in theater together for a while, right?
For a while.
So for them, it's a family unit. Did I tell you I tried to join Fun Factory?
You did? Which season?
2007, as in S6 VAC.
That was a very intricate season.
No, they had just hit TV, so I was excited. I'm like, I really want to. No, they hadn't hit TV yet. What was I doing that got me to know about Fun Factory?
That was an intense season for Fun Factory. They were the guys.
Yes, and I really wanted to join. So Tuanje, being the nicest person on the planet.
Him. I know.
Yeah, Tuanje is just the kindest soul.
Don't even get me started.
Too nice to give you a direct
I have lists.
Tuanje gave me tickets to the show. He's like, well, right now we are not recruiting, but I'll let you know when we are. But here's a ticket. Come for the show tonight and watch.
Come and witness.
Yeah, so I stick around the Winton Road, I stick around town, I stay because, you know, S6 VAC, you don't really have like a strict curfew. They're telling you, let us know if you're coming home so that we can
privilege.
lock up. One of the advantages. But you get less pocket money.
Really?
In school. Well, you chicks get pocket money like crazy. You have no idea.
I didn't go to boarding school, so I don't know.
You missed out pocket money. See your life.
I did not miss, but carry on.
Yeah, so where was I by the way?
Yes, we were talking about tickets, you attend.
So I attend. I watch the show and I'm excited. This thing is funny. This thing is interesting. Like, it's lit, right? After the show, I go to Tuanje. I'm like, yo, you guys did really well. I think I'm going to keep trying. You know, I go and improve myself and what. Next week, I come back. He lets me watch the show again. After watching the show 3 times, every time I watched the show a little more, I realized how hard it was.
Yes.
And that was Richard's mission, to help me understand
that
this is no joke.
You are dealing with seniors right now.
You're dealing with seniors, and what you're seeing here.
That was 2007.
2007. I'd been trying to get like into the game that early. I went for the MTV VJ auditions.
Nice.
The one that, was it Denzel who won?
Yes. Is it Denzel who won that one?
Yeah, I think it was Denzel who won.
He's really done a lot of.
But he was in the top 3.
Yeah, he was in top 3. I'm not sure it's him who won, but I know he was
in the top 3.
Yeah,
he was somewhere there. So the MTV VJ auditions, and I met Sizwe.
Yeah,
but that's as far as I got.
That was, man, entertainment back then was different.
Sizwe was the guy,
He was the guy.
Yeah,
Such a cool, suave guy.
But I took my L, man. I went for auditions. You guys, I auditioned. I auditioned for plays. I auditioned for Fun Factory. MTV VJ. I went for auditions. Like,
did that kill your vibe or encourage you? Because these days our feelings are very...
It was killing the vibe. But every time I was like, what am I lacking? Because for the MTV VJ thing, I was like, maybe it was my accent. Because I was listening to everyone else going, where you are, well, it's MTV
What's up,
right
what's
now,
up?
what's up,
Yeah.
how you doing? I'm like, and then the other one had the list, was like, welcome to I'm like, I can't survive in this economy. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
So by the time I go to Stand Up Uganda, I needed a lot of pushing. Like the one guy in Namungo who had DSTV.
Yeah.
Lado Edwin.
He was like, you gotta.
I'm seeing the ad.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Let's go.
I've seen you watching Kings of Comedy. Don't you like Chris Rock? Aren't you a fan of Chris Rock? I'm like, yeah. It's like, just go do it like him. I'm like okay. So yeah, it was.
But okay, so that was 3 years of you're doing auditions, nothing.
Nothing.
Doing auditions, nothing.
Nothing.
You
No
are a very
callbacks.
resilient young man.
To be honest, there were not that many auditions, but they were enough to break your soul. 'Cause
I
think
understand that.
7 or 8, that's a fair amount. But yeah, we respect Fun Factory, and because theirs is more of a family dynamic.
Exactly.
How Akite entered the plot, I don't know, but
You
for
know,
me,
she fits like she was already there.
Yeah.
And I think she has the gift of mind reading, because what you were talking about is the ability to read your person on stage, bring them, take them, da 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 da. That looks like something, anyway, in my experience, that's something that you build with time.
Yes.
Like, I'll give you an example. Me and KK in the first year and me and KK now,
different.
give us a show. You guys thought Exit was nice?
They're not ready.
They're not ready. So, like, you're able to predict that. So, I feel like Akite's real gift is actually being able to predict the future. She does it so seamlessly.
The
and
madness.
even the younger additions to Fun Factory, when I do go on Thursday, you can see that they've been able to integrate in a way that reflects the previous members.
Yes.
So that mentorship, that I really buy into the dream you're selling with mentorship.
It does wonders, especially in regards to discipline. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, you have no idea what mentorship does for discipline.
Let me take you back to stand up. So they tell you, we're not training you to be comedians, we're training you to be
Entertainers.
Entertainers.
Yes, we're training you to be decent entertainers and, good people, like effective workers, basically.
Would that still hold for the, I don't want to call them up and coming, would that still hold for entertainers today? If you wake up and you decide you want to get into the entertainment world, would you rather get training for the profession or get training for the art?
I think you have to do both, honestly. Because for us, the training was a mixture, right? It was a mixed bag. Because you're going to walk in one day, Al Rogers is going to tell you, stand in that box. There is your microphone. Do not move from the box.
What if some of my jokes involve me swinging around?
Well, he's basically telling you, find jokes that don't need you to move very much. Like, sometimes you're going to have to work with the space you're given.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to adapt. Last time you were outside there making noise. Now you're pinned, confined in position. But through the training, or through like let's say, the artistic training was professional, if I can put it that way.
Okay.
The way we were handled was very professional. This was a classroom. You had break time. You had lunch time. This was a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., 6 hours a day.
Education.
Of education.
Yeah.
And everything you're being taught is either for the art or for the profession.
Yes.
Like guys are like, your weakest link is in negotiation. Because it doesn't matter what you've been paid. If you accepted it, you have no right to complain, and it should not affect your performance.
Yeah.
It's what you agreed to.
I subscribe to that school of thought, but I thought it was just because I'm a very nice person.
No. You're supposed to perform. You're paid to perform.
Yeah.
You failed yourself on negotiation.
Yes.
It's not the fault of the other person. They made you an offer, you took it. Why are you now whining on stage? That is not their fault, it's on you. So there were a lot of elements in the artistic and the professional elements were combined. Don't be sulking in front of people. You're there to make people laugh. Put your feelings aside. Like first, resolve whatever it is you're dealing with. If you can't, then use it to motivate you. Go cry if you have to. But once you get on that stage, people paid to laugh. Your feelings don't matter in that moment. They will matter afterwards, and you know what the funny thing is?
No,
They will matter more if your performance is good.
Right? So I agree with you in that your feelings don't matter, but that is I think that's something that even us as creatives really, we need to learn how to straddle that line, because your creation comes from your feelings.
Yes.
Which is quite important,
Yeah.
right? But then when you're putting out the creation, now the feelings,
It's supposed to take a back seat.
go back, get out of here, you're not
Yes.
welcome here. How do you straddle that line? Because I remember even when you were going to do your debut show, your debut one-man show, one of the things I recorded you saying, you were like, I have to go to my nothing box and first, like, empty and refresh, and then
Yeah.
I can come and give you. So I'm like, you're going to the nothing box when we came for something. Like, like, how important is it to strip yourself in order to give yourself?
The best analogy I can give is you have to be like a sports car.
Eh? What are sports cars?
Like these high range sports cars, the Bugattis, the the Koenigsegg, those race cars.
Subaru.
Basically, there's like a car, even maybe Subaru, I don't know. There's
Okay.
like the normal mode, then
Where
there's
we're
performance mode. So I always encourage performers, be interesting when you're in normal mode. But performance mode is for being funny, because you can't be funny full time. That's why I keep using Gaetano as an example. Gaetano is a very interesting person, but
Yes.
Gaetano is not a comedian. But you sit and listen to
And
Gaetano for hours and laugh and just be happy. He'll take you on an emotional roller coaster.
Exactly.
So on a normal day, let people meet you, be interesting. Be entertaining, be fun, but you don't have to be funny. When you're on stage, and this is the difference between stand-up comedy or comedy in general and other performances, if you took your emotions in as a poet and used it to express what you are saying on stage, it would be considered artistic, because no one feels the need for you to have to be funny.
Yes.
But for a comedian, you have to be funny. It's like
That's what specifically.
it's specifically what we came to see, specifically. So
Yeah.
switch on performance mode,
Yeah.
become that sports car and cruise. Go on that journey.
Like how those guys in Fast and Furious be
Yeah.
changing gears
Those
every
guys-
5 seconds.
Fast X is the one that ended my life.
What you? They overdid it.
Those guys went to space and then he shifted gears in
In
space. I
space?
was like, that is the first time I've clapped like that. I never expressed myself. I was like, mama. I held my
gears
chin.
in space.
That girl was like, cuckoo, in space.
You know, I didn't watch it.
I was like, ludicrous, this is ludicrous.
This is ludicrous. Meanwhile, the guy
trying to work.
started as a car engineer, like in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yes.
They're shifting gears in space. I like that. So shift gears into
Shift into performance mode and
Yeah.
give the people what they came to watch.
Yeah.
There's a time I nearly lost it on stage. You know those things where you're going through a breakup and you feel your feelings and you're about to start ranting about stuff going on in your life. Because my rants can be funny,
Yeah, but they'll still be rants.
but it will still be a rant. And I don't know how to hide anger. So I'm like, you have directed to something else. So I quarreled about circumcision instead.
Okay.
But
Yeah, cut your losses.
I took the energy to circumcision. Because you know those things of my girlfriend's telling me I need to circumcise. And would do it for me. I'm like, sure. So you also chop a nipple for me. Who do you think you are? We're cutting off things that don't grow back. And I just went and ranted about a totally different scenario. And it was, people are laughing.
That
Because
is funny.
the whole thing, but inside, as
dying.
venting.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh.
But good for you surviving that, because I can't imagine having to be on stage mid-breakup season.
Hey, man, we were the only performers.
Nangi, you had to
So-
come and do what you do.
There was what, 10 of us?
Yo.
And look, you were paid per performance. We didn't start getting salaries until like 2011. Of now, we as a group, we have monthly salaries. That didn't happen until like 2011. So for 2 years, you needed to be on that stage
In order to get paid.
in order to get paid, but also to stay relevant. This was more about relevance than it was about money.
Yeah.
It was a time whereby they were telling me, you leave comedy and focus on school. I was like, ooh, you guys have no idea how fast this industry is moving.
They will forget you.
They will forget you. You miss stage for 3 weeks, people are like, who is that guy?
And then now you have to reintroduce yourself every time.
Every time.
That's exhausting. I've experienced that.
So we stayed on stage weekly because it was, don't miss out.
Yeah.
And it was the only platform to test our material.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little bit about testing material, but before we go there, let's talk about your journey to the LOL model, because that show was epic. I know there's a lot of work you did in between, and it can be found online. You can also tell us about it if you feel you have to, but your show was great. Your show was wonderful. Like, it was one of those things where you've gone to see your friendly neighborhood comedian and they give you more than what you sign up for, you know? And then it wasn't even just you, it was the people you had on. I think you had Don, you had a beatboxer as well, you had Anne Kansime, the people that set you up, and then also the audience. That audience was there for you.
Oh, that audience, eh? Hey.
Do you know how, like, you attend a show to see OMARA D and then you are also entertained by the audience? So it was such a great show. And I know I give people sometimes don't believe my compliments because I give compliments so freely. But I break it down like that because there was a lot of, I guess, it was not, I don't want to call it coming of age, like there was a lot of blossoming for us as your fans that we got to witness because we had been waiting for a long time. No pressure.
I know, I'm sorry. I understand.
We've been waiting for a long time, so to wait that long to actually receive what we received was wonderful. So I just want to know, like, the journey to it and, you know, how you even made it possible.
So here's the funny thing about the LOL model. I had been avoiding it.
We felt that way.
For the longest time, right?
Why though?
Because...
You know you were carrying a particular demographic of Ugandan comedy for a while.
Yeah, for some time.
And then...
Yeah, things changed up a bit. But Comedy Files came and catered to that demographic for at least 3 years.
Yes.
Yes, and I was very proudly associated. I was doing talent recruitment and training for Comedy Files.
Yeah.
So La Bonita, I left in 2017. So 2014 to 2017.
Yes.
At least that
that season
era
of behind the scenes work.
Yeah. So when Salvador did the one-man show, when was this? 2014, 2015? There was a lot of pressure of now everyone has to do a one-man show, and that's really not how I operate. Because the media was constantly calling, when are you doing yours also? What are you going to call it? I'm like, guys, this is not going to happen because of peer pressure.
Yeah.
So I just gave them random dates to get them off my case. Like, because me, I was like, okay.
Good for you.
Like, hey, man, I'm trying to set up a new platform.
Yeah.
Guys are bombarding me with this idea of a one-man show.
Yeah.
And that was the time when I didn't want to be visible. I'd been burnt after the hostel. So it's the reason why most people don't even know who was running Comedy Files.
Really?
They don't know the team that was behind it.
Interesting.
They have no idea because I chose to stay in the background. The rest of the team was like, let's build this thing and, you know.
And put it out there.
Yeah, so you make your money in the background. You're chill, right?
Yeah,
You have your monthly salary. You perform once in a while.
Yeah.
You do your thing. But there's so much pressure from everyone. When are you doing your one-man show? Even me, even what? Then I think Okello Joshua did. After that, there was a chain of one-man shows.
I think I remember that.
MC Kapale, MC Kelekele, like everyone is popping out a one-man show, and then it went silent for some time.
Yeah.
Then Okello Joshua did what? In 2017, Rich Friends, Poor Family. And the cycle began again.
The Ugandan story.
The Ugandan story, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then Timothy Nyanzi did the Pan-African, I think in 2019.
I remember the Pan-African.
Now, 2020 is when I had committed to doing my special, because I came back with a different kind of energy. Woo! I came for Africa Laughs that year. I was like, you people are taking me abroad. I whooped butt on that stage.
Yeah.
I was ready. Killed it. Just when I'm setting up, I go to Kigali. I think the day Kobe Bryant died, I was taking a flight back. That was a hard flight. Whew. But yeah, came back, landed, start hearing things. COVID has reached. Now, what people don't know about COVID for entertainers is it started affecting us in December the year before.
Yeah, it did.
Between December and Jan, they were shutting down international gigs abroad.
Yeah.
Then continental, then regional.
Then home.
Then national. So for like 4 months, we had been losing revenue and income and all that stuff. So 2020 was purely about survival.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, no, me, I'm too bougie. I'm like, no, I need 2 housemates to match the rent. We are doing this now.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we are going to do this. I need to make some changes. This is about survival. There was
That's
no time.
pretty practical. Nice.
You had to be. COVID.
Yeah.
Woo-wee, COVID. COVID was the realest I've ever seen. So yeah, like I said, 4 months already. We had been losing gigs. And then, you know, I ended up getting 2 housemates.
Smart, good for you.
Because the one I was with during COVID just went home and didn't come back. So
Smart for them also.
yeah, bad for me.
Because bills.
Bills, man. So, but the guy upstairs was this nice Kenyan dude who has like a company here. So he brings in 2 expatriates and he's like, well, instead of Airbnb, how about I pay you to keep my peoples? I'll handle the amount worth in electricity and water, and I'm getting you guys a cleaner and a chef so that my guys can focus on work. My parents sent me money. I was like,
That's not something that happens often.
it's a blow to my ego, but I'll take it because I needed it. I needed it.
Why is it a blow to your ego?
Because you're supposed to be the one, like, you know, feeling like I got into this business to take care of my people. You get, so now it's them looking out for me. It's not like I was entirely jobless. I was writing consumer skits, but filming was harder because I was a creative director at the time. Filming was hard because we couldn't move.
Yeah.
So I think we used to do things like advise shoot on 2 phones, and then like connect a mic to one of the phones or something. Like it was so. If you watch Hard Lockdown skits, they're very, the audio was.
Our standards were low. Yeah.
Well, she couldn't move either. I mean, she could, but you need a crew to film, and then the social distancing, isolation, number of people in cars. There was too much going on. It was chaos.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So I survived COVID. I come out, elections, damn it. I was like, the universe does not want me to do this show.
The 2020s came in full swing.
The 2020s was like a whole other new millennium. It was
We
like,
were Mad Max out here on these streets.
I was on the front of a car like this.
Witness me.
I was losing my mind during COVID.
Yeah.
Like it was, man. So basically elections come through. When they confirmed that we were officially let out of,
We are free.
we are free.
Tuliwa welu.
I went and booked a date at National Theatre.
Oh man.
I ran and booked a date.
You
If I don't book this day, I'm not going to do this show.
Yeah.
I booked a day, I did the poster, shout outs to Isaac Kaizen. He was my arts guy, and you know, and did a great job.
Yeah.
So the guy does this thing, we put out the artwork. Basically, I pushed myself to the point of no return, where I had to do the show. There was no dodging it. There was no coming back. Everybody knows. It's like when you tell people, I'm an alcoholic, but I'm trying to quit. Now everyone is watching. Okay,
Are you going to quit?
Are you going to quit?
We're also ready. We've
We're
been
also
ready.
ready. And then I started getting the love from people like, yo, finally, the artwork is dope. You think it? Then like someone calling from Kigali like, hey, when you finish your show there, can you come and do it in Kigali?
Amazing.
I'm like, okay, that's how this thing is. Okay, I guess I'm psyched. At that time, I'm directing Kansime's reality TV show.
Yes.
And I have...
That's Can See Me.
Can See Me, yes. So I'm head of creative, I'm directing, and then I'm also present in post-production because I was very sensitive about the final product I wanted.
You're a very particular person on the kind of content you want to put out there.
Yeah.
I've witnessed this.
you have to be, man.
Yeah.
There was a policy we came up with in what, 2010, that I nearly started a war in the industry.
What did you do? What did you say?
So I told guys, as far as recruitment is concerned, I need a team of 10.
Okay.
And once I reach the set objectives, I'm going to stop recruiting for this group, but I'm going to continue recruiting in case someone needs talent that we're not offering a platform. Guys are like, that's okay. Now, my 10, there's going to be a maximum of 3 Luganda speakers. Guys are like, why are you limiting the Luganda speaking? There was a whole squabble about that. What do you have against Luganda? Is it because you don't speak Luganda? So I had to explain the mathematics. I'm like, look, our background in training is different.
Yeah.
We are trained for short performances.
Yeah.
So we're getting on stage to do 5, 10, 15 minutes maybe, right? And we time ourselves. This guy's background is from Chivulu. You dance on the back of the track for 6 hours.
And you're busting jokes.
And you're constantly busting jokes. With that training background, these guys are going to be on stage for at least twice as long as us.
Yeah.
Which means if we
By
had
default.
5 of them, balanced 5-5, you're going to have a show that's 3 hours. That's going to be 2 hours and 15 minutes of Luganda performances.
Yes.
Like they really take their time
You
on stage.
did quick maths, eh?
I did the maths, and then I included the fact that most of the English-speaking comedians also use Luganda.
Yes.
So the percentages had to be broken down to make sense.
Yeah.
So the guys were like, okay. But still, there was a war about it. Though nowadays we are on par. We are like, yeah, we've seen the results of a full Luganda lineup. there's an entire audience that leaves, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you have to be particular because
Yeah.
I want a certain quality of things. Now, to be fair, I was not the most experienced person.
Directing at the time or in 2010?
Directing, I don't know, either, on both occasions.
What?
On both
Directing was in 2022, 2021?
Directing was 2022, 2022, 2023.
Okay.
We finished the project September 2023. That's when I handed in the final episode for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So with the directing, I just knew what I wanted. I knew we were shooting a reality TV show. So getting the team in line was the hard part because I have a bunch of creatives who don't have a background in TV or film.
Yes.
They're stand-up comedians. They're very good comic writers, but there's no film background. Now, film is about time and discipline.
Yeah.
The more time you waste, the more you're going to pay for equipment.
The rules are so different. I'm learning.
Yeah, I think so. When they say be here at this time, you're supposed to be there at that time.
Yeah.
Then there's a hierarchy of anything you want to pass on to, let's say, the camera crew goes through the director.
I didn't even know that.
So you don't get up from there as a creative team member
To
and
tell
come
someone.
to the camera guy like, yo, I need this angle from you. That's the
Yeah.
director's job. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one with the responsibility. I should bear the burden of the mistakes made.
Yes.
But you can't say, oh, it was the other guy who told the DOP. You're the director.
Yeah, you say what?
So there was a war. There was multiple wars on set regarding
Yeah.
issues of authority because we are trying to establish a team. But by the end of the production, we had a solid team. It was fun.
I love to hear that.
No, it was hilarious. And
Because
shooting,
we creatives really, we don't know how to handle conflict. We take conflict as an attack on the art.
yes.
So even if conflict really is coming from the gods, there are no people involved. Like, you know, access to roads is horrible. Maybe you can't access the place you want to shoot at. So we take that as an attack on the art. So to be able to overcome all those things
Yeah.
through, you know, creating systems, aligning team members
Yes.
to create a product with a deadline,
Yeah.
with a budget. Kurika directing
And the cast.
and a cast.
Yeah. So
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, it was hella fun. I will not lie. Shooting Kansime's family,
Yeah.
you don't even have to fake anything.
But I mean, who else but Aloma and Tando Bachiga? I feel like
Honestly,
same.
it's a perfect balance. North and West, we shouldn't be fighting over Reggie.
There's nothing to fight about. It's
get
just
along.
let's understand who we are. I think that was a great setup though, because we have seen Kansimi and it's a pretty successful reality show compared to the reality shows that we have experienced as Uganda,
So
because
far,
we've seen many. We've been through seasons. I think it's been a good journey for us who are watching. I'm going to assume for you as well, career-wise.
I won't lie. I saw the show grow.
Yeah.
And I always go back and critique myself. I'm like, damn it, the first episodes had too many confessions. This dragged on for too long. I didn't let the show breathe enough. I should have changed this. This should have been different.
Do other people come and say that to you, like other directors and stakeholders?
Oh, directors, we're always critiquing each other.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Manzi is always on my neck. I'm always on his. Steve Ayeng. What's this? Lukman is the harshest, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
He seems like a very chill person.
No, he's a very chill person. But,
But when it comes to the work,
he's going to be honest.
he's going to Lukman the work.
He's going to Lukman the work because he didn't get that good by being lenient on himself.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, me, I'm always savage on me, so I'm just going to give you the same energy. I'm like, hey,
I can readjust to that. I can
hit me
readjust
with
to
it.
that.
So yeah, it's something you learn, and then you enter like this whole new society of now they're like,
What's it
welcome,
like?
director.
Because I think once you have had a show like that airs on many platforms that actually even they give money to, I think the first respect comes from you have received a budget.
Yes.
So I think you are automatically in because then that's credibility
Yeah.
for you as the newcomer.
Especially if you did like you know, but me, I fear the guys who've directed like Prestige and Sanyu, those 260 episode per season things.
Yes.
My goodness, I don't know if I have the mental fortitude.
I mean, I think you do, because you have directed reality TV by Bachiga.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Why am I undermining myself?
Yes, you're a very powerful man.
I would definitely go in for it.
I think so.
But yeah, so they normally alternate. It's 260 episodes, but you have like 2-3 directors.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Either you take on directing per team, so that may even be more than 3 by the way, because if now you have 2 teams,
Yeah.
you need 2 directors on shift maybe.
You need real human resource.
Man, you need this thing. And for me, that's just at the level of directing. You don't even know what the producers have to deal with on their end.
Yeah, because as the director, you are overseeing producers, you're overseeing many things, many aspects of the show, and how they come together.
As director, you're overseeing production. I think producer is above you. Producer is here.
Is above you.
The producer is organizing the resources for you to do your job.
For you to do your job.
As director.
Does their influence affect your job? Like
directly. I can say, I see what you want to do as director, but this is our budget. You first come. You want meat sumbi, but our budget is for pea sumbis. You first be slowly. Okay. Actually, that's part of the reason we shot Can't See Me the way we did.
Yeah?
We didn't go for the glitz and glamour because we were like, first of all, we would be lying. That is not who Kansime is.
Yes.
Kansime
and she's very real, so we appreciate that.
So we're like, we thought about it and said, imagine if this were a reality TV show from Jamaica. You get.
We want to see them coconuts.
You want to see them coconuts. Yes. You want to see that compound. You want to see that randomness. I thought of the idea of the glam and all that, but Kansime is raw, man.
And I don't think the glam would serve us as the audience who have watched Kansime from Don't Miss.
Yes.
She would lose us.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a Muchiga village girl.
Listen.
With her and her family.
And she does it so beautifully. Was it a no-brainer for you to direct Kansime? Yeah,
because okay, so I was with her on Girl from Amparo as second assistant director.
Girl from Amparo was really good. I don't know why it's
I don't know. I think selling, I don't know. I'll have to ask her about it.
She will tell us.
Yeah. But I was with her on the Girl from Amparo back in 2016, and I used to consult. Cotilda used to bring me along as like, you know, Cotilda used to swap creative teams.
That's smart.
So when Cotilda was Kansime's creative director, so Cotilda used to swap teams. Like every 6 months, she switches team members for new creative juices and minds and all that stuff. So I would come in for like 6 months, then be alternated, then she would have another shift of people. And basically that was it. So when I got called for Girl from Amparo, I got the role of second AD. So I'd known, Kasim and I had been friends for at least, 6 years before that in comedy, but not like tight. So from Girl from Amparo onwards, we started getting closer. I understood her, I met her family, I knew her siblings. Yeah. Then I became her creative director, so we used to talk about a lot of things together, share a lot. So when it came to directing a reality TV show, it was like, hey, I know an interesting story. Your relationship with your brother. Like, it's actually not a lie that the last born was made the head of the family. Yes, we saw that. It's not it wasn't made up for story purposes. Interesting. It's the truth. That briefcase is real. It's there. The way they fight, 2-on-1, then suddenly switch, it's exactly what happens. That's how they are. So half the time we were filming, I was like, okay, have we crossed the line? Like, basically, leave them to talk for 5 minutes. What we'd do is we'd give them a location and a topic and maybe talking points. Yes. And so you guys jazz whatever you want, but if you could help us understand like maybe what this journey was like for you after this incident in your family and what. And they just go into the conversation. Yeah. And you'd always get beautiful content. Do you know what the hardest part of directing Kansime's reality TV show was? Too much content? Yes! Because you're actually now, and they're all creatives in the family, so you're working with 3 power heads. And Bachiga at that. Yeah. These guys run on, I don't know, wind energy, because even when the sun is gone, they are still active. I love that. How? But that's a challenge for you because you are now supposed to put that through a crucible and give us a product for us, not a product for them. So my focus was on story. I was like, look, I had to go back and re-characterize them of, okay, drew up a character profile for everyone who was supposed to appear on the show. Her friends, siblings, the creative team, anyone who was appearing on the show and had screen time. Profiled them into character so that in editing we could stay consistent in character. Because people are going to do something out of character.
Out of character.
By nature. But if you have your character Bible and you're like, well, this is out of character for this person. So for story's sake, we can leave that out.
Also, this is Kampala. Every time is a new character. What does this occasion evoke?
What is it like?
Which Kampalan shall you be today?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Speaking of which Kampalan shall you be today, so your list is getting much, much longer. We've seen you in TV series.
Yes.
We've basked in your glory as a stand-up comedian. You're now in animation as well. A very powerful voice in animation. You know, my favorite OMARA Daniel moment to this day is you laughing in Akalabanda ate my homework. That is the most diabolical laugh.
As the teacher.
As the teacher. That is the most diabolical laugh I have ever had in my life. Good job.
Mr. Okech was evil, man.
Like, why?
So here's the funny thing.
How are you able to produce that kind of evil?
So you know how I said I'm like a third generation teacher?
Yes.
And I think probably the only teacher in my generation.
Oh.
I don't know.
Your siblings survived?
Everyone else survived.
I think there was a mission here.
But I had there's a legend called Mr. OMARA Lawrence, the late.
That's a powerful name.
He was my uncle, a biology teacher in Busoga College, Mwiri.
Oh, bless him.
Very strict disciplinarian.
Yeah.
Very, very strict. As in, you had to have two margins in your book, one on the front and then the other one on this side. This margin is for numbering. This margin is for complex words. So if he says the study of living organisms and non-living things, right? You're supposed to put in the other margin biology. He's not going to say biology is this and this and that. So the word was here, the description was here. Like very organized dude. He wanted his past papers from the time you joined the school. Not these things of I have my end of term. No, your beginning of term, your mid term, your end of term papers for every class you've been in up to where you are right now. Right?
My.
And he wasn't playing. Very good biology teacher, the best, honestly.
Yeah.
And he had this accent. He used to talk.
That is very serious.
He used to talk slow. So, Emmanuel, he had lab attendant called Emmanuel. So every time he phoned someone didn't have his work. Do you have my notes from senior 1 up to senior 3? And past papers? You don't have. Emmanuel, bring me my chiboko. Very calm. So when I was coming up with the character of Mr. Okech...
That is diabolical.
Yes.
Jeez.
When I was coming up with the character of Mr. Okech, that is actually from my uncle, but I exaggerated it a bit. Where are my notes? You don't have them.
And so, the visual gave us the whoo properly.
So I just made it higher pitch and prolonged them.
Oh.
So there's a lot of Mr. OMARA's character in Mr. Okech. He was a very strict guy.
And I guess he lives on that way. But that was so beautifully done.
Awesome
because
guy.
It was traumatizing. Yeah, you did the job, nailed it.
Look, Mr. OMARA is the reason I was bullied so much in Mwiri.
What do you mean? Because he was your relative?
Yes, because
because of you.
Every time he punished someone, they came for me. And that is the story of how I learned how to fight. I'll tell you another day.
Karma.
But overall, I pick influence from different characters. Like the one we did recently, Chisazimoto.
Yes.
The basket head.
You are the basket head?
Yeah. Nsingoma, the basket head. Yeah, so I got inspiration from a friend of mine who speaks very calmly, but he's always being sarcastic.
Is he from my side? Is he from the side of Chizazi, from the west side?
It's actually northern. It's called Cornelius. Okay, you know those types of guys who, like, someone says something mean, and they're just like, oh yeah, I like that.
The reason I
Th-
asked
that
if it's
kind
from
of
my
people.
side, because we in conversation are always dissing ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are
okay.
abusers
Yeah.
with of love. We in
You-
love.
You're always roasting each other.
That is how we communicate. There's no other way.
No, this guy is from the north, and he just has
Okay.
this very calm demeanor, constantly dropping sarcastic words and stuff.
Yeah, that is very good.
Then I just added a bit of the Luo element
Yeah.
to give the robot something unique to say that people would. Basically, I would say the same thing in English. You tipu pekan, no what? No ghost detected. It's the same thing.
Nice.
So I'll just repeat it twice to make it sound like one is protocol and the other one is actually what I'm supposed to be telling the guy.
Nice.
Then you're standing in a booth with like a monitor.
Yes.
And you're seeing
lines.
like 6, 7 Disney execs just sending it. Okay, so we'll need him to do this again, but from this and give it to us in this voice. Okay, yeah, I like that. So Raymond Malinga is directing
But
based on the
there's-
script, but there's constant feedback coming through. So it's a 3-way
Oh my God.
recording, but it was so much fun.
Were your nerves okay?
I was perfectly okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I was
Because
perfectly
I
okay.
would be crapping.
No,
like-
it was actually quite fun. Like I think I was done in about an hour and something.
Professional.
And I made the mistake of charging per hour.
You charged per hour?
I should have spoken slower. Should have been like, well, this
Why would you charge per hour?
I'm just messing with you.
No, oh, okay,
it was
good.
all I
Because
said.
now I'm trying to figure out voice acting, like rate cards and rates and whatnot. Okay, anyway, we'll come back to that another time. But yes, so now you're in Chizazi Moto, you're doing animations, you're acting. What's OMARA doing 2024? What are we looking forward to?
I am doing another special.
A Nile special?
Another special.
Louder for the people in the back.
Another special. Another one. Yeah.
Let's go!
It's the title is But Did You Die?
No.
Yes.
But did you die?
But did you die?
Because we've waited so long. But did you die? I feel like you're throwing jabs at us, die hard fans.
No, not even that. It's just like since 2000, since 2020.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten the chance for my mind to rest. And I know so many people who are like that. Like I had a creative shutdown in 2021. Like the first time I caught a break after I had paid the rent backlog and finally caught a break, my brain just switched off.
Because you are breathing normally.
I could, yes.
Your brain is like, we don't know
My
what
brain
this
is like, right now it's okay. First chill. Kasime was mad because I was her creative director, but I wasn't generating ideas. So she's like, Danny, what's wrong? I'm like, I have no idea. I could
Pun
act.
intended?
Yeah, I really have no idea. I could act. If you gave me lines to deliver, I would deliver them to the best.
Yeah.
If you gave me content to deliver, I would kill it, but I could not create, I couldn't write.
The system had shut down.
The system had shut down, and then it just reboots one day, like, we are back in business. And it came with a flurry of ideas. Yet I'd been struggling for like 3 months just to get things in gear.
Do you think that's a misunderstanding that creatives have? Because we don't treat writer's block, as we call it, as a waning season. Because like, you know how the moon waxes and wanes? That waning season is also important. Then it disappears for a few days, then it comes back again. Do you think that as creatives, maybe that downtime is misunderstood?
I think yeah.
I'm starting to feel that way.
Often I think it's misunderstood, which is why you need to get that downtime before it gets you.
Yeah.
you understand?
Because it collects.
It collects. It's an
really
accumulation of issues that eventually just breaks you down. You shut down. That's part of what writer's block is, a creative shutdown. You just, because you've been dealing with so much. So I always tell comedians, travel. Whether you have purpose for it or not, just travel.
You get in a bus and go.
Yeah, like I went to Kabale and, I just keep noticing things that other people find normal there. Like, you're on Lake Bunyonyi and you see a school boat. I'm like, hold up, what?
Yes, that's very normal.
I've heard of school buses, school boat.
Yeah.
St. Mary's Girls' School. Bunyonyi, girls on a school trip. I'm like, huh? Guys are like, yeah.
That's
This is
so
life.
powerful.
You go to Mbarara and realize that the only sculptures that are perfect are the ones of cows.
Yes.
All their lions look high. Like, find a lion looking like this.
They're not sure where they want, which animal they want to represent. That is so true.
When a chameleon with a horse's head. Like weird statues.
Yes, I know the chameleon you're talking about.
But when it's a cow, it is pristine. the cow statues in Mbarara,
Yeah.
you almost want to milk them.
Yeah.
I nearly chased one.
Every detail. You nearly chased which
one.
one?
I was
The one at
hungry.
the Airtel
Like, I
thing.
want to chase this thing down there. You guys nearly rioted over a cow. I was like, you
Yes.
people take your cow, but you literally had
Yes.
beef with Airtel.
Let me tell you something. Those cows, it's like DNA. We can't help it. Like when we get lactose intolerant, we mourn. Like this
It's
is
a
serious.
funeral.
It's a funeral. Like let me tell you, our country business.
It is yours.
It is our business. We really love cows.
So those are things you see when you travel.
That's nice.
Like I traveled to Gulu for an event and noticed how the women always dressed really sexy.
Yeah.
Like perfect dresses, right? Like a really nice dress, sheer, all fitting, and they have lovely bodies.
They
Those
do have
slim,
lovely
actually
bodies,
women.
yeah.
Yes.
Because they're very
What?
slim. Like I think you've done a joke about this.
Exactly.
What
So
do they call it? The tiny booty?
yeah, you know, small elephant,
Small elephant.
small elephant syndrome.
Oh
So,
yeah, I like the elephants in Gulu. So I think just exposing yourself to new places
just
really
to new
opens
places.
your eyes.
Yeah, so me, I go there, I'm chilling, I see women, very well dressed, nice dresses, right? Givenchy, Gucci, whatever people wear. But they all have sneakers.
Yes.
Like you have a dress, but with sneakers.
Yes. I've seen
Adidas.
that. Yeah.
You wore Gucci and Adidas on the same attire.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, are these the side effects of a war? Like you're always ready to go.
To bolt.
Yeah, like if you can't find me in high heels, never. And they just
You know, I wish that's what that it is, because then you can actually see, you know, the evolution of communities based on the events
Exactly.
of the community. But I think it's just convenience, because those roads are such. Let me tell you, if I lived in Gulu, I would walk everywhere.
Honestly, yeah.
I think I would actually walk everywhere.
And it's not that big a place. It's Mbarara, I think Mbarara is huge by comparison.
Mbarara has become Kampala.
Mbarara is massive. If I have to drive 15 minutes in any direction, your district is too
It's
big.
too big.
I'm sorry. I don't even drive that far in Kigali. Who are you?
Really?
Eh?
Interesting.
Kigali is big upwards. It is a vertical city. As in, you're on top of the
They
hill.
watch this show.
Your destination
They're watching
is there.
the show, Mara. We don't want them to cancel us.
The first time I was in Kigali, you don't know what my complaint was. Guys are like, so it's like a 15-minute drive to where we are going. I'm like, okay, where is it? They're like, you see those lights down there? I'm like, yeah. We can jump this distance.
So the distance really is that?
Like
I
you're
thought you
up
were
here.
kidding.
The place is down there. Like, we can jump this distance. I mean,
Cut 15 minutes to 5 minutes.
yes, cut 15.
Free fall.
Just run on that guy's wall, do some parkour. You'll be on location. But now we have to drive around the hill.
I think you're being Luo in the wrong country.
No, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
But as a comedian, you always look at things from a comic perspective.
I like that. So that keeps you fresh.
It keeps you fresh. And the more you travel, the more you see, the more content you have, the more you learn. But also the more you relax. Because it just feels good telling people I was on an aircraft.
Yeah.
Now I'm tired.
Jet lag.
Yeah, from a bus.
Been
But
around the world.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that kind of vibe. Travel when you can.
Yeah.
I got used to traveling for work, but
Nice.
every year I take at least a month off from one of the art forms. When I'm done with the project in acting, I take a break from acting and go back into comedy.
That's smart.
So when I got done with directing, I came back into comedy full force.
But did you die?
But did I die? Yeah.
So is it but did you die or but did I die?
But did you die? It is
But
basically
did
a,
you die?
a dedication to everyone who has survived
It's a
something.
dedication.
A dedication, because the artwork is a fist rising from the ground with a microphone.
Oh,
Like
that's
resurrection.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah, and not like zombie fist. Like
Yes,
I'm alive.
still alive.
You guys try to bury me, but I'm
But
here.
I'm here.
So behind this RIP crossed out, lol. So, but did you die?
Lol.
Lol. So if you've made it out of something, if you've been struggling with something, I've had my personal battles. I can't go into detail about them.
Will you on that day?
Yeah.
Today.
It would be a nice thing to let people know that whatever struggle you're dealing with, chances are you're not the only one.
You know, that's something that we don't appreciate entertainers enough for, sharing the similarities in our lives and consoling us. So I like that. I like that. What's preparation for that looking like in a multifaceted artist, director, actor's life?
Well, first of all, the content this time is a lot more of an emotional roller coaster kind of vibe, as opposed to the LOL model, which was mostly pre-tested content.
Ah.
Yeah.
Are you going to pre-test this one as well?
A lot of it is pre-tested because you need to have pre-tested
Okay.
content. You can't, an audience is paying for a performance. So a lot of people look at a stand-up special and they're like, it's 1 hour of telling jokes. No, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Like, where did you start? Where did you go from there? What happened when you went there? Who were you with? So you're supposed to be thinking about settings, character, even dialogue. You get.
Even dialogue.
And the story, yeah, because some characters talk.
Because you're alone there, but you're not alone.
You're not alone. And for every character you introduce, if you want them to be important, you have to give them a name, you have to give them a trait, you have to say something about them that makes them unique. Like my cousin Okelo, my cousin Okelo Polycarp, they call him Dilo. Dilo. Because every time he's walking around with something to sell.
Interesting.
And the products just kept getting bigger.
Eh?
Like this time it's grasshoppers, next time it's fish.
Has
Another
he reached
time
houses?
he has a goat. One time he showed up with a cow. And every time you see him with something, shortly afterwards, it vanishes, right? So when we saw him walking with his sister, we were very concerned. We haven't seen
So
her
who
since.
took her?
We don't know. But Dilo
And
got
for
very
how
rich.
much?
Dilo is very wealthy now.
Good for Dilo, but I might
for the
might
sister.
need to look for that sister. Just
Yeah. But now you remember the character of Dilo,
Yes.
right? And he's associated with making deals.
yes,
So I've just given you a vague
yeah.
rundown, but
Yeah.
you have to make your characters memorable so that you can
Yeah.
use them for callbacks. Because now that you've established Dilo as a guy who's always dealing stuff, he can come back later in your story, something went missing, and you found Dilo near your house, and you're like, where is it? He's like, me, I don't know.
Meanwhile, he's already been cashed in.
Yeah.
Like everything's looking
The
nice
guy is
for
holding
him.
the DVD that was in your DVD player, but the DVD player is missing. And he's
Like I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, the guy's
That's
like,
nice.
but that DVD was in my DVD player. He's like, this is separate property now. Me, I stole a DVD player.
Dilo is very genius about his theft.
CD doesn't count.
Yeah, like you remove yourself from the whole equation.
Yeah.
So that journey we like to see, especially because when you attach us, when you tell us about a character and we attach ourselves to that character, and that character closes like the bigger punchline of the show, we love to see that. Because when you describe it as a journey, I guess we feel the journey, the ride.
It has to be an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I want it to be more of a theatrical performance
Yes.
as opposed to just stand-up comedy, right?
Yeah.
Mood lighting, bit of a switch in music, that kind of vibe. It's going to be a hell of a lot of work. So I'm not going to go into deep theater,
Okay.
but just have a few backup elements with the story. Because this one is mostly storytelling.
Yeah.
Of how I at some point I'd failed to leave my house and I didn't know why. You get those random things.
But did you die?
But did I die? You get. I found out living on the top floor of a building that birds actually target you when you're looking good.
To shit on you?
Yeah, to take a poop on you, like
Not very different from humans, but it is what it is.
Exactly. You put on a black suit and that thing is like,
Guy, yo.
for you like, oh, the birds are chirping, the morning is so beautiful. Why did you wear black? Stupid. Let me come and just drop one on you.
It's like lift shot.
Well flying. Like I've always been
crazy.
baffled. I'm like, does the flapping pause a bit when
I think they're
How
usually
does it-
startled by how smart you are and that they let everything loose.
they're like, oh my goodness,
I like that working theory.
that working theory. There's always a working theory about something.
I like that for you.
So the journey
The
of how
show, I mean,
the mind works, the mind of a comedian, coming up with content, how my hour of power is 3 a.m.
Yo.
3 a.m. I'm awake for no reason.
With ideas.
Yes, and I have to get those ideas out of my head before they start vanishing. But all the ideas are a review of yesterday's events. So I saw something random, I wrote it down, or I saved it on my phone in my Gmail. Always save your stuff in Gmail,
The cloud, yeah.
so that you can drafts.
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah.
now you can't lose it if it's in the cloud.
As long as it's there saved in drafts. A lot of my content is in my Gmail draft. So I could lose the phone, I could lose the laptop, but as long as I can open my Gmail, I will find it there.
That's smart.
So I've saved some content, and then in the morning, I turn on my voice recorder and just start talking to myself.
I need to learn that.
Talking about the ideas. Comedy doesn't go straight into the writing of jokes. A lot of people think you just sit and type jokes.
Yes.
No, you watch the news, you review the news, you
then
ask
the jokes
questions.
come along.
The jokes come as answers to the questions. So you're asking questions. They say chameleon sleepwalked off the 4th floor of a building and broke his ankles. You're like, who sleepwalks and lands on their feet?
Chameleons?
You get. And on your ankles, like you sleepwalked and landed on your ankles. Like the story doesn't
Who
add
are you
up,
talking
man.
about?
This
Chameleon?
guy-
You're talking about a chameleon.
Well, back in the day, and just landed on your ankles. So
That's powerful.
the answers is where the humor comes from.
Yeah.
We don't just sit and write humor. You interrogate a
You
situation.
live life.
Yeah, you live life. Because these questions are constantly going through your head. Why did they do this? Why is so and so light skinned? You get like there's always those things bothering you.
The mother drank too much Fanta. I have all the working theories.
Like, what's up with Sekandi?
Don't.
How?
This is where the broadcast ends.
No, you have to admit, silence as a political strategy
Is not a strategy.
is genius.
Why is it genius if all we're talking about is your non-existence and constantly reminding people of your existence?
But who hates him?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Oh,
Nobody hates Sekandi because he has never said anything worth hating him for.
okay.
Like, you don't have a problem
Fine.
with him. We judge him for silence.
We judge him for silence, but we don't hate him.
We don't hate him.
Yeah.
In fact, it was fun asking where is Sekandi, by the way.
It became the punchline. The
Yeah.
punchline was the question,
Yeah.
not even the answer. People don't want the
Exactly.
answer.
And there was that monthly post of just your monthly reminder.
This is your
Our
vice president.
is honorary.
I miss you on radio, by the way. I need to listen.
I won't
But-
jump back on.
Yeah,
you
but
get-
your old shows are still there. So
yeah, the old ones are still there. The ones,
that's comforting. That's on RX.
RX Radio.
Yeah.
The lockdown shows where I was very annoyed. But yeah,
They were good shows.
they were fun shows.
They were good shows. I recently listened to one where you guys were talking about me and Kameza. That was nice.
The Kameza thing.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
I still find it interesting. People didn't get that you were trolling.
No, but it's okay. Everyone receive according to your level of intelligence. We won't judge you.
But
Yeah.
me, when I was talking about it on the show, I was like, let's make it a real scenario.
It was real.
Yeah, let's
no,
go
but
for
it was wholesome. So like it's things like that I think that also even help us gravitate towards your art because of the wholesome way that you share. I appreciate that. So.
Thank you.
OMARA D.
Yes.
Which quarter are we looking forward to? Because there's just 2 quarters left. There's this quarter and the final quarter.
Final quarter.
Final quarter.
Yes.
We'll be ready for
I
you.
want to do October or November.
October or November.
We're debating dates because National Theatre is
I
on
can imagine.
demand.
But that's a good thing.
Very good
Because
thing.
it means the audiences have shown interest in attending these events.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're here for it.
And it's funny, it's part of the comedian strategy now.
What do you mean?
Bring comedy back to the theatre.
I like that. I'm okay with that.
It's deliberate. So
It's comforting in the theater because, you know, the laughs are bounced off. It's very nice anyway.
it's built
And
for that
people
purpose.
are listening.
But yeah, I'm also looking forward to it. Attentive audiences, I love those people.
I love attentive. As a spoken word artist, listen. That's also for you here. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Hopefully we can even have this conversation again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Like my dreams.
Always.
Man,
forever. Thank you for watching the Film Hackers Talk Show. OMARA Daniel was our guest. You can continue the conversation in the comments. Remember, we of course take those comments, get them to our guests and see if we can have them on back, get those questions answered. And yeah, thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, share the video. Until the next episode.